Welcome back. Zimbabwe's public sector doctors have gone on strike after the government failed to meet their demand to have their wages benchmarked in the US dollar. The doctors have given an ultimatum to the government demanding to be paid in United States dollars, among other conditions. On Sunday, the Zimbabwe Hospital Doctors Association said that union leaders were receiving death threats from suspected government agents over the strike call. The government last week announced a 76% pay rise for the rest of the civil service and 60% for doctors in a bid to avert imminent strikes. But unions say the increases are far off their demands to have their salaries adjusted to the interbank rate. Zimbabwean journalist Nigel Yamachumbu joins us live for more on this story. Nigel, how is the government reacting to the strike by public sector doctors?
Preliminary reactions by government to the strike by doctors has been to escalate the negotiations with the leaders of the doctors union and to make a plea with the doctors to return to work in light of the mandate that they carry insofar as the health sector is concerned, and also by promising to review their working conditions, salaries, and by trying to meet their demands. As to the doctor's response, that will yet to be seen, and whether they will stop the strike anytime soon.
Well, we understand that some union leaders have been receiving death threats over this strike. What measures, security measures, are being put in place to protect them?
Yes, there have been disturbing reports over the past days, going back to the last week or so, about union leaders, civic leaders, activists, and journalists receiving life-threatening messages or receiving messages that would amount to some level of harassment. The response by government has been that some of the cases have not been reported to the correct law enforcement agencies, to the police, and so forth. And those that have been reported are being investigated. But suffice to say, it is indeed the state's obligation to ensure the safety and security of its citizens, and one hopes that all these investigations will be adequately dealt with to ensure that all citizens are protected and they're able to exercise their rights freely.
And finally, Nigel, just before I let you go, what about the people most affected by this strike, the patients? How are they coping?
Patients are obviously affected by this strike, and by generally the standards of the health sector in the country, which due to the economic challenges that the country has been going through, has been deteriorating by the day. And the health service sector in particular has faced increased rates of death that are avoidable. And this is something that is of real concern. Most people are crying foul over this particular decision and are urging government to speedily act on this matter to ensure that there is some level of sanity within that sector, and that they are adequately patients are adequately attended to.
Yeah, Nigel, we do hope it's resolved quickly. Nigel Yamatumbu, Zimbabwean journalist, speaking to us there from Harare. Moving on now, Botswana's Independent Electoral Commission says President Mokgweetsi Masisi has set October 23rd as the date for parliamentary and local elections. An IEC spokesperson adds that the poll will elect 57 National Assembly and 490 local government officials. The leader of the political party that wins most seats in parliament will become president of the country. Masisi's Botswana Democratic Party has been in power since independence from Britain in 1966, but has seen its support erode gradually. In 2014, it lost the popular vote for the first time. Now, in Tunisia, presidential candidates have started campaigning for the upcoming election against a backdrop of economic troubles and a militant shooting that underlines the challenges facing the only democracy to emerge from the 2011 Arab upsprings. The presidential election on September 15 was called early because of the death of President Beji Caid Essebsi in July. He was the first democratically elected head of state after the popular uprising that overthrew veteran strongman Zain El Abidine Ben Ali.
Among the 24 men and 2 women running for election are the Prime Minister, a media magnate detained last year on suspicion of tax fraud and money laundering, and a candidate from a moderate Islamist party that was banned before the revolution. The president controls foreign and defense policy, governing alongside a prime minister chosen by parliament, who has authority over domestic affairs.
We have also achieved success on the international stage. We've signed the Arab Summit Agreement. We've entered the market, which opened a lot of doors for Tunisians and also exporting companies. We have achieved positive things, as our numbers show.
Whoever ends up leading the country will face the challenge of a faltering economy and continued efforts to plug a large state deficit and public debt. Prime Minister Youssef Chahid says that Tunisia is still under threat from militant groups, including Islamic State, 4 years after 2 attacks killed dozens of tourists, badly hurting Tunisia's tourism industry.
All of these things are aspects we would like to develop through democratic administration, through freedom, through an institution that respects the human being.
The presidential vote and the parliamentary election on October 6th represents the 3rd round of polls in which Tunisians have been able to vote freely since the 2011 uprising.
A senior German minister, Gerd Müller, has described the killings of Herero and Nama ethnic groups in Namibia more than a century ago as genocide. Germany has acknowledged moral responsibility for the killings, but it has avoided making an official apology to avoid compensation claims. Some 65,000 Herero and 10,000 Nama members were killed by German soldiers after a revolt against land seizures. In addition to the slaughter, thousands of Hereros were driven into the desert and died of thirst and starvation, and the rest were sent to concentration camps. The Hereros had killed 123 German traders, settlers, and soldiers. Now, the Spanish Coast Guard says it has rescued almost 200 people who were attempting to make the dangerous crossing from North Africa to Spain. The rescues come amid a debate in Spain over the role that charity boats should play in assisting government efforts after a Spanish non-governmental organization ship was at the center of a standoff with European states last month. In the Straits of Gibraltar, 73 people were rescued from 3 boats, among them 10 miners. Another 110 people were rescued from 5 boats in the Alboran Sea, the majority of who will be taken to the port of Malaga. Arrivals to Spain so far this year by mid-August were a little over 18,000, a 39% reduction on the same period last year. And that's it on the program. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Teniola Shibowale.